Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Crochet with Zara. In today's tutorial I am going to show you how to crochet this basic granny square. I am using only a single stitch, a granny stitch. This is the fun and most helpful tutorial especially for the beginners. Let's get started by diving into a fun tutorial. For this project I am using these three materials: a 4-ply yarn, a hook of 4.5 mm and a scissor. You can use any size and any type of hook you want. I am just teaching you how to crochet a basic granny square. Now let's get started by making a magic circle. Now take the tail end on the left hand and the working yarn on the right hand and wrap the working yarn around your fingers of left hand in such a way that it makes an X. Now insert the hook under the bottom yarn and pull up the upper yarn and twist the hook to make a loop. Now chain 1 from working yarn. Take out your fingers. Now you can see a circle. Now chain 3, total of chain 3. Yarn over, insert the hook into the magic circle, pull up the loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Now again work another double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the magic circle, pull up the loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Now this chain 3 I will count it as a double crochet. Now I have total of 3 double crochets into the magic circle. Now remember one thing, 3 double crochets is equal to 1 granny stitch. Now chain 1 and chain 2. Now yarn over, work 3 more double crochets into the same circle. Insert the hook into the circle, pull up the loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now work 2 more. Now chain 2, 1 and 2. Now 2 more granny stitches with the chain 2 in between. Yarn over, insert the hook into the magic circle, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2 and work 1 more granny stitch or 3 double crochets into the same circle. Now chain 2, 1 and 2 and slip stitch into the chain 3, 2 and the round 1. Now pull the tail end to close the circle. Now you can see a little square is formed. Now we have to work in the corners. You can see we have 4 corners. These chain 2, I will count it as my corners. So I have to get into this point. So slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next, and slip stitch into the now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 2 double crochets into the same space. This chain 3 I will count it as a double crochet. Now chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets or 1 granny stitch into the same chain 2 space, as we have to increase in every corner by working 2 granny stitches with the chain 2 in between, or 6 double crochets with the chain 2 in between. Now yarn over. For this time I'm not going to work chain 2, as we have to work chain 2 only in the corners. So this is not my corner, this is my side of the square. Now yarn over and work 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space. Now again I have reached at my side of the corner, so I am not going to work a chain 1 or chain 2. I am going to work 3 double crochets in this chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 and work 1 more granny stitch or 3 double crochet into the same chain 2 space, as we have to always increase in the corner by working 2 granny stitches with the chain 2 in between, or 6 double crochets with the chain 2 in between. Now yarn over, work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and again 3 double crochets into the same chain 2 space. Now slip stitch into the chain 3 to end the round 2. Now you can see over round 2 is complete, and over square is slightly larger in the round 2. Now we have to work in this corner, so we are going to work a slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next, and slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Now work chain 3 as my double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, and again work a granny stitch or 3 double crochets into the same chain 2 space. Now we will not chain 1, we directly go into the space between the two granny stitches and work a granny stitch. 1, 2 and 3. Now yarn over, insert the hook into the chain 2 space without working chain 1. Chain 2 and work a granny stitch again in back into the same chain 2 space. Now we directly go into the space between the granny stitch without chaining 1 and work a granny stitch. Again without chain 1, work a granny stitch into the corner. Chain 2 and work a granny stitch back into the same chain 2 space. Now yarn over and work a granny stitch into the space between the granny stitches from the previous row. Now work a chain 2 and again work a granny stitch back into the same chain 2 space. Now this is my last side of the square. Yarn over and work a granny stitch into the space between the granny stitch. Now work a slip stitch into the chain 3 to end the round 3. Now this is my round 3. Now for the round 4, I will exactly do the same step as I have worked in round 2 and round 3. Slip stitch into the next, slip stitch into the next, and slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Now work chain 3 and work a granny stitch, chain 2 and again work a granny stitch back into the same chain 2 space. Now without chaining 1, I am going to work a granny stitch into the space between the two granny stitches from the previous round. Now Again yarn over and work a granny stitch into the space between the two granny stitches from the previous round. Now I have reached at my corner. Work 2 granny stitches with a chain 2 in between. Chain 2 and work a granny stitch now in the same way. Work a granny stitch into the space between the granny stitches without chaining 1, and into the corner work 2 granny stitches with a chain 2 in between. Again work a granny stitch into the spaces between the granny stitches without chaining 1, and in the corner work 2 granny stitches with the chain 2 in between, and reach here and work a slip stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, and slip stitch into the chain 2 space to start the round 5, and chain 3 and repeat the same step, and I will meet you at the end of round 5. Now I have reached at the end of the round 5. Now insert the hook into the chain 3 and pull up the loop and pull through. Now chain 1 and cut the yarn off. Now you can see our square is formed. Now hide the tail. You can use a weaving needle. It's up to you, but I am using a hook to hide the tail. And that's it. A granny square is formed with round 5s. You can make more rows to make it a bigger, or if you want to a smaller size, you can just decrease the rounds. You can crochet round 3 or 4. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to follow for more crochet tutorials, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take great care of yourself. Bye bye.